Hi everyone. We will wait a little bit for more people and then we will start. I will be checking the chat and I will try to reply to as many questions as possible, and I will be mainly speaking in English, but if we have questions in Slovak, I will also reply in Slovak. So you can ask me whenever you want. Okay. I'm so excited too, Nancy. How are you today? Let's wait maybe 2 more minutes and we can start. I actually already prepared my mix. I'm going to be using Ganache, Brownie, and I added 1 drop of Curcuma. We are going to do actually correction procedure for my client because I already did her brows once and it looks really beautiful, but I think it needs a little more color. I think you can see it, right? You can see it beautifully here. So you see how it looks like. Hi Emma, how are you? Yeah, I already did pre-drawing because I don't want to stay here forever. So we can already see pre-drawing, and I will do just the procedure step by step. I will start with the outline and then I will do the first pass, second pass and the third pass, and if we need, we will work on the details. So you will see everything how I do it for my clients step by step. So if you have questions, ask, and if I cannot reply straight away, I will go through the chat and I will reply at the end, probably. Yeah. Hi, Alessandra. Okay. Perfect. Maybe we could start. I'm gonna show you what I'm going to work with today. So, first things first, I'm gonna use Me Machine. Is it visible? Is it okay? Because I saw it, see it, yes. Okay, so this is Me Machine. I'm gonna use 3.5 stroke, and I am going to also use 6.1 speed because I really like it for my hand. So I'm gonna use 6.1 speed, and then I'm gonna use hard needle, Perfect Brows Club cartridge. I'm gonna use hard needle because I am using Clinita. Clinita is a pigment with softer binders, and it helps the pigment to penetrate and go quicker into the skin comparing to soft needle. So we are gonna use these kind of things, and I am also using Ganache, Brownie and Curcuma. Ganache and Brownie is 1:1, and I think we can start with the outline. Okay, so let me turn on the machine, and 6.1, and I always have a window of the cartridge to the side. So we can start. Perfect. We are going to stretch to the 3 different directions. I am going to stretch to my side, to left and to right. Is it visible? Je to vidno? I hope you can see everything. We will start with super short movements. Back and forth movements. We will do a little bit and we will check it. Okay, but the stretching is very important. And I always start with the soft pressure because I want to make sure that I am not too deep. So let's check. Oh yeah, perfect. It is. Yeah, it's enough. I think you can see it beautifully. So let's continue. Okay. We will move my client's head. And we will start again. Very short movements, back and forth. I am not rushing anywhere. I have to be careful because we want outline to have it as crisp as possible and also as thin as possible. Yeah, it looks really nice. I'm happy with that. I just make my cotton Q switch a little more wet. I think I can go one more time, but with a very light pressure. Môžeš, láska, trošku zoomnúť? Nech to je trošku viacej vidno. We will try to zoom a little bit. Okay. Tak to bude. Okay, so I will go again through this place here. Okay, moving my client's head again. And we will go like this. I am using a machine with 3.5 stroke, so I really do not need to press too much because the machine is powerful. Yeah, we can see it beautifully now. Yeah, perfect. We can continue. Okay. Let's go. So Emma, I think I am using this machine for the third time in my life. So it's still very new for me, but I really love it because it creates very beautiful pixels and you can feel that it has power, which we need, so we are not creating so much trauma to the skin. Wait a sec, I will focus on the outline because it's quite hard for me to talk and tattoo at the same time, especially the outline. So this way. Perfect. I think I can finish it now. Okay. Okay. Now we will check one more time. Heart. Oh, perfect. I really like it. Maybe here a little bit. Okay. And as soon as I am done with the outline, I will start straight away with the first pass on this eyebrow. Okay. When we are working over here at the beginning, we want to make sure that it is more pixelated, that the outline is not very strong. So we can do our movements a little bit longer, and this way we can create like pixelated outline too, and it looks really nice. Okay, so let's do it like this. Okay, we got it. So I hope you can see the outline. If not, what I can do is use a little bit of anesthetic, and it will become even more visible for you to see it. Very nice. Yeah, the machine, Emma, is actually really nice. I tried it when I was at the Privé Forum, and I held it in my hand for 1 minute, and I knew I want to buy it because it is completely, like, Clinita CMAT is a very good machine too, but this one, sometimes I feel like this one creates even tinier pixels, and it is a little bit thicker. So for me, I really need to get used to it because it's different than the Clinita CMAT is thin. So it's different, but I just love the result it creates. And of course, I love how it looks. So that's also one of the reasons why I bought it. But it creates extremely beautiful pixels and effect. I hope you can see it better now. Okay. I think we can start with the first pass. I start with the first pass from the tail, and I'm going to use light movements at the top, and as soon as I go to the body of the brow towards the bottom part, I make my movements a little bit closer together, so that way we can saturate the bottom part and body in a good way, and the top of the brow is very light. I don't do strong outline on the top. I only do bottom, and then I go from the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top. But as soon as I go to the top, my movements start to be a bit far away from each other, so it creates this soft effect. And regarding the first pass, I go through the whole eyebrow. Then the second pass, I don't do top and front. And the last pass is actually where I focus everywhere. I try to make it as nice as possible. So this is how we are going to work now. And we can start. Okay. Dobra? Can you go closer to me? Możesz się troszkę posunąć? Musím se posunout. OK, trošičku ještě pojďte ku mně. Tělíčkom celým. OK. Toto posunieme. Je to dobré? Musíš mi povedať, OK? OK, so let's start. And I start with a soft pressure, so I do not go too deep straight away. And as soon as we are closer to the bottom part, our movements go closer together. So soft and open movement. And as soon as we go into the body, we are saturating more. Okay. When I work in the body of the brow and at the bottom part, I am a little bit more working in the brow, in the skin. But when I go to the top, closer to the top, my movements are a bit more airy. And my overlap is around 70-30. And now I start to be more in the skin because here we want to saturate a bit more. But it doesn't mean that I stretch, that I use a lot of pressure. Super soft. I go a bit more up, little bit more far away from the line. So my shape looks nice and a little bit thin, but I go a bit more outside the shape, from the top part, of course. Okay. I think I will check in a second a little bit how it looks like. we can see really beautiful pixels. Okay. A bit more saturating. I really like the outline. It looks so nice. And the color for her is absolutely amazing. It will be matching her hair a lot. So I don't want to rush because we want to make beautiful first pass. It is our base. Okay. So you can see I go a bit more up. And now saturating even more. This way. Tell me where you are from, where you live, and from where you are watching. I'm curious to know. Okay, when we are working over here, we have to make sure that we are not using a lot of pressure. And we want to saturate. This way. When I work at the bottom part, my movements are super short because I want to be super precise. As soon as my movements are long at the bottom, I am not that precise anymore. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me check. And we'll see. Okay. I will take this. Maybe I can add a bit more pressure. Actually, this is my client, first client in 3 weeks. Because I was on a holiday, and before I was doing eyebrows, I think, wow. Yeah, almost 3 weeks ago. So this is my exercise. I was practicing on latex a little bit before we started. So I think I have to use a little bit more pressure. But it doesn't matter. I rather go back and do it again with a little more pressure. But I do not want to overwork the skin, and we know we have to be careful at the tail because of the skin. And my client has beautiful skin, so I think we can create a really nice effect today. Okay. How long have you been doing powder brows? Let me know. When we have anesthetic and rosa on the brows, I can check your questions. Okay. Good. Okay, so we are using soft binder pigment, and this pigment does not hold the particles together as strong binder pigment. I am saying it because it's important, because that's the reason why it sometimes needs a little more time when implanting into the skin. I am using Clinita, and Clinita has soft binders, mostly glycerine PVP, which is polyvinyl pyrrolidone, soy lecithin, and so on. And these pigments are super high quality, but they have soft binders. And that means that we need to saturate them more. And when they heal, they stay in the skin a little less. Okay? So, we are going to continue. When you use strong binder pigments, you shouldn't saturate that much. Because when you are saturating with strong binder pigments, you will create a catastrophe. Because strong binder pigments, they attach to the skin tissue. A lot of binders are quite sticky, and they stay within the skin, and then they do not go that much from the skin from the long-term perspective, which means that they change color a little bit. It also depends like what kind of pigment and what kind of shade you are using, especially these pigments with a lot of organic ingredients and a lot of carbon black. You have to be careful what kind of binder is inside is the most important thing for you. And of course, if they are REACH compliant. But you can check it on in a database. CTL has a database and you can check everything there. I have to stretch a lot because you can see that my client has a lot of skin. And the skin is elastic. Okay. Amazing. Perfect. We are working in the body at the moment and at the bottom. So again, short movements when we are working at the bottom. And we want to saturate this part as much as possible. So it stays beautifully, the pigment stays beautifully in the skin when it heals. And the bottom part is actually the most important part because it is creating the shape, the overall shape. So, let's go. Perfect. My client has a tiny pimple over here, so I'm going to work around. I'm not going to work through the pimple. Perfect. This way. Okay. Let's add a little bit here. Oh, I'm so soft that I don't even know if it's gonna stay there, but we can always add. I am always very soft. I think that's my problem. I am never heavy with my hand. I am maybe sometimes even softer than I should be. And I have to sometimes tell to myself to use more pressure because it's simply not enough. So my healed effects are usually more light and more dark. But I really like to do correction procedure. I really like to do it because it's so safe when you can always adjust it, but if it's too much, then you cannot adjust anything. You just have to remove with a laser, and based on binder and specific formula, you cannot use laser straight after work. And it's different for pigments with strong binders. It's different with pigments for soft binders, especially. Yeah, you really need to know the whole formula, but you shouldn't remove with a laser your brows if something went wrong straight. It's better maybe to use a removal, but removal it's not that effective. So yeah, that's the reason why it's better to be lighter than darker and to not use that much pressure. We can always adjust on the correction. And I already had situations, because I do PMU for 7 years, so I already had many situations, especially from the beginning, where it wasn't always the best. And yeah, it's always the easiest when you do not oversaturate whatever is the brand. Doesn't matter the brand. Okay, now we are working. Áno, prvú vrstvu idem celú pendulum. And as soon as we go to the front, we want to make put our movements or make our movements a little bit longer and more far away from each other. Super soft. Super soft. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Láska? Děkuji. Okay. Perfect. So. We are going to clean it, but I'm gonna change my gloves. Okay. When I have sweaty hands, I like to use powder. And I also use it on championships. It's so good to use it. Okay. Perfect. So, we will clean the brow and check it. Bolí vás to? Vůbec? Dobré. Takže, so we are not gonna use anesthetic yet. We'll see how it goes. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, so nice. Can you see it? It looks so good already. Okay, I will clean a little bit. Perfect. My client does not have a lot of brow hair, so we can see color beautifully. Perfect. Now we can do the second pass. We are not gonna touch top and front. We are going to work at the bottom and in the body. I'm not gonna touch these parts here because soft binder pigments, they penetrate the skin a little bit more slowly, and they will become darker in a longer period of time. That means that this is not how the brow would look at the end. it's gonna be a little darker everywhere in around 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm not gonna touch top and front, because if I go there again, it may be already at some places, at some parts, too much. So we can start with the second pass. Okay. I will clean my needle a little bit, and let's go. Okay. So I would say you can divide your brows into thirds. So the bottom third will be saturated a lot. The middle third, the middle one, will be saturated quite a lot, and the top third will be the lightest. So I'm gonna work in the first and second part. Okay. Focus a lot at the bottom, because I can see it's a little light, some parts. Okay. Then when I finish, I will take pictures and videos, and I can post it, so you can see how it looks in real life. Okay. Nice. I really like satin effect when it's light and soft in front and at the top, because when such a technique heals, it looks super natural, and it's suitable for everyone, for every woman in the world. Actually, powder brows, and like even in permanent makeup in general, I think if it's done correctly and safely, I think it's very safe for everyone. It enhances women's face, and everyone feels better in the morning. So yeah. And I like to use Ganache and Brownie Cosmos Incense a lot, because these pigments are quite neutral. So based on how you mix it, you can use it for, oh my gosh, almost everyone, I think. Yeah, it looks really nice. The color is just so beautiful, really. Yeah, I love the machine. I really love what kind of effect it creates together with the needle. Okay. Nice. Perfect. Here, again, we have to do super short movements. Děkuji. Super short movements. Kratučké ťahy. Okay. And we know we shouldn't touch top and front now, because as soon as we go through the top and front multiple times, it's not gradient anymore. We wanna come back to it when we do the last pass, but I want to finish second pass, then I will do first and second pass here, and then I will come back to this eyebrow. And when I go to the other, when I do the other eyebrow, I go to the other side. Don't forget to stretch and 90-degree angle, around 90. Sometimes I'm maybe 85 to 90, but never like lower, because then we are traumatizing the skin instead of working really with the top of the needle. Yeah, Paula, it's 0 pretty needle from my store, but the one I am using is the hard needle. So I like to use hard needle with Clinita or with soft binder pigments, because it helps the pigment. It helps it to, you implant the pigment a bit more deeper, so it is more efficient. And soft needle for hybrid pigments, for strong pigments, like for example Etalon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or for example with pigments which has strong binders, you can use soft needle, and or mature skin. And hard needle for problematic oily skin, and also for... Prosím? Nepočujem ťa. Okay. Boli? Dobre? Super. You can see that my client does not have a tail, so it is a big change for her to have new brows. Okay. Only towards here. We are not going more up, because there we want to work later. Okay. We are almost done with the eyebrow. Perfect. Okay. I never use these plastic things. I use normal ones, normal masks. And this is quite annoying sometimes, because sometimes I don't even see what I'm doing. So I have to check. I can always see the mask. Okay. Let's clean. Let's see. Maybe we have to go again. Sometimes I go 2 times when I do the second pass. It's still second pass when I'm working at the bottom and in the body. So, keď máte tenkú a citlivú takto, tenká pleť, určite jemnú ihličku, soft ihličku. Ale keď je citlivá pleť, záleží, že či citlivá, akože taká problematická, alebo citlivá tenká. Ono skôr, ja sa skôr riadím, či tá pleť je tenšia alebo hrubšia. Keď mám hrubšiu pleť, tak používam hard ihličku, a keď mám tenšiu pleť, tak používam soft ihličku. A potom, keď mám tenkú pleť a takú akože staršiu pani, tak používam tenkú ihličku a používam jemné spojiva. Používam pigmenty s jemnými spojivami. A keď mám klientku, ktorá má takú problematickejšiu pleť, hrubšiu, masnú, tak je lepšie použiť pigmenty so silnejšími spojivami. Oh, it looks so nice already. Okay, one more time in English. When I have client with thin skin, I use soft needle. When I have client with thicker skin, I use hard needle. When I have client with thinner skin, like the older clients, I like to use soft binder pigments. And when I have more problematic skin, more oily and so on, porous skin, I like to use hybrid pigments. But when I use hybrid pigments, I have to manage my movements. So, of course, when I use soft binder pigments, I have to pack my movements, how I do it now, and I really need to put as much color into the skin as possible. And when I have hybrid pigments with stronger, not hybrid pigments, sorry. When I have pigments with strong binder, I use lighter movements and I put my movements a little bit far away from each other because I do not want to overwork the skin. These two different pigments behave completely differently. So that's what I wanted to say. I like it, but I want to go a little bit more over here. So a little bit more and then we will move to the other side. Som rada, že to bolo v pohode. Niekedy je pre mňa ťažké sa sústrediť na viacej veci naraz, takže ja chcem niekedy urobiť všetko naraz, ale potom vôbec neviem, čo hovorím. Takže sa musím sústrediť na jednu vec a hovoriť postupne. Sometimes it's hard for me to explain something and think about what I'm saying and then like tattooing, doing the brows. So sometimes I just say something and 2 minutes, I do not know what I said, or maybe 2 seconds, I don't know what I said. So I'm gonna maybe focus a little bit more on what I do, and then when I talk, I will talk, but not tattoo. So it makes sense what I'm saying. Okay. So this is still my second pass. Toto je stále druhá vrstvička. We wanna add and we want to add a little bit of the color, and we want to create this bigger effect, because for me the wow effect is when the bottom part is beautiful, saturated and crisp, and top part is soft. But when it's light in general everywhere, then there is no this wow effect, so we have to add a bit more color here. Okay. Let me know what else would be interesting for you on the live stream. So when we plan the next live stream, we know what you would like to see and what is the most important for you, or maybe what is your biggest struggle in PMU. Áno, používam rosa balzam. Budem ho dávať po druhej vrstve. A používam väčšinou zelené alebo biele mydielko od Rozy. So we have a question if I only use Rosa Balm. And yes, I only use Rosa Balm and I use white or green soap with that. Okay. Let me clean. Difficult skin. I was waiting for such an answer, Paula. Yeah. Maybe I can find a difficult skin and we can do it. Okay. But to be honest, I really, really, really like Clinita's pigments because they have extremely beautiful shades. And you can see it yourself and you see it on my Instagram. I really love it, and I like organic pigments, but I really love iron oxides too. And what I like the most is a mix of both, which is hybrid. So yeah, and actually it's not possible to have purely iron oxide pigments at the moment because of the heavy metals. Especially, I think it was cobalt and one more heavy metal. And yeah, iron oxides, if they are not properly cleaned, they are full of heavy metals. So that's the reason why they cannot be used only by themselves. Like, you cannot find pure iron oxide formula which would be REACH compliant, from what I know. If I'm mistaken, you can let me know, but what I know, it's not possible at the moment. And I think that, if I remember correctly, that benzyl alcohol was banned again, also, or limited in September last year. Yeah. Okay. So, I think I am almost done with the second pass. It's gonna take longer because I talk a lot, and I want to focus. I worked one with Clinita and it turned gray a little bit. And what kind of pigments you were using, Paula? Because it may happen if you, it's so hard to tell why, because there is so many different things what could go wrong. So either you used cooler shade, or you applied it a little bit more deep. What happens to me when it's grayish, it's never because of the, it's never about me going too deep, but it's almost always about me choosing a color which just turns to cool in the skin. So I either choose like neutral color and in the skin it turns cooler, even cooler, or I do not use enough warmth modifier, so it really depends. But me, when I do this, when this happens to me, I already know that most of the times it's because I didn't choose the right shade. Ganache Brownie, a little bit orange, and this is your favorite color. Ja používám i Abracadabra a i Pro. I use Abracadabra and also a Pro line. But you do not need a lot of shades. To be honest, it's not necessary because I never use a lot of different shades. I use maybe 5 shades, the most, and maybe even less. But if you want to try, you can choose like 2 shades, one lighter and one darker, and you can mix them. And the best is when you have neutral color. Takže keď chcete skúsiť napríklad Clinitu, tak je dobre si vziať jeden svetlejší odtieň a jeden tmavší odtieň a namixovať je dokopy. A keď to namixujete dokopy, tak vytvoríte ako pekný neutrál a podľa toho, akú farbu, či potrebujete svetlejšiu alebo tmavšiu, tak záleží, ktorý pigment koľko použijete, je to jednoduchšie. So if you want to try pigments, you need one lighter, one darker, and then based on what kind of, how dark your pigment needs to be, this is how you mix it. So if you need stronger, like darker pigment, you just use more Cosmos or more Ganache. Takže keď potrebujete napríklad ako keby tmavší pigment, tak použijete viacej tmavšieho, takže napríklad viacej Cosmos alebo Ganache. My máme momentálne Ganache vypredaný, our Ganache is sold out at the moment, but you can use Cosmos instead of that because it's super similar. Momentálne je Ganache vypredaný, takže Cosmos je v pohode, môžete namiesto toho použiť Cosmos. quite hard to talk in two languages. Okay, I think I like it. Now we are ready to apply anesthetic and then rosa and cover it with the foil, and we will go to the other side and you will see me from the other phone. Takže máme to zatiaľ v pohode, ideme dať anestetikum, potom dáme na to rozu, balzám, zakryjeme fóliou a pôjdem na druhú stranu a uvidíte ma z druhej strany. Okay. So we are going to apply anesthetic and on top we will do rosa. This machine is a long stroke machine. It has only 3.5 stroke. It's perfect for, yeah, soft binder pigment, mineral pigments. Yeah, perfect. Now, yeah, when gray brows happen, how you can tell it? Okay. Perfect. We will go to the other side. We have a question here. When gray brows happen, how you can tell the difference that it was implanted too deeply or it turned gray because of wrong color choice? So, I think you know when you look at the ingredients and you put the color on a white paper and you can put it next to your client's face. Client is neutral to cool regarding undertone and your color is also neutral to cool, then the big probability is that the color was too cold, because the color you use for a client, it always heals more to the neutral to cool. So when you put cool color into the skin, it never heals warmer in the skin. It always heals even cooler because you're applying it into the skin at some level of the depth, okay? And you can also, that's the first thing, and the second thing is that you can, I think you can see it when you look at the eyebrows and you just see the pixels, because if you only have this part over here where is a tail, when this part is darker and more gray, then the big probability is that it was your pressure. And you can also, when it's grayish, what happened to me in the past and when I saw, when I was consulting my students' work, what they did before, I could see like a big dots and they were gray and you could see it and it was already healed work. So you could see that the work was just done in not a good depth. It was done too deep, but I would need to see it to tell. But the first thing is to check exactly your pigment and to check it next to your client's face. So you'll see if the color looks like, oh wow, too deep, too cool, or you think like the color is okay. So then maybe it can be the pressure. But yeah, it's hard to say. It also maybe, I don't know, client can go to the solarium, sunbath, I don't know how to say it. So they can spend a lot of time on the sun, they don't use SPF and it can go to the grayish undertones super quickly. It's actually very hard. That's the reason why, whatever the pigment you are using, just never make the brows too saturated and too strong, because even my brows after some time, they can go to a little like cooler tones, of course, more with the cool toned people, or even after 12 or 18 months, but it's so easy because if it's very light, done with soft binders, then you can go over it and do touch up within 12 months or 18 months and it's perfect. But the problem is when it's too saturated. So color is not the problem, okay, if it's not like yellow or something like that. Color is not the problem is saturation. and maybe wrong shape when the tail goes like completely somewhere off. My customer was very cold and I was thinking orange will help. Yeah, so see, we replied to the question. I'm happy. What speed are you working? I am working with 6.1 at the moment. Okay, let me move myself to the other side. We have to move my trolley and we have to turn on the other camera. So give us a few seconds. So someone is, Lucia is saying that she's using Clinita even for a porous skin, and even though the healed effects are lighter, it always looks beautiful even after 1 year. And I'm saying it's because they don't use a lot of carbon black, and they use iron oxide black and carbon black. And iron oxide black goes away much quicker. So carbon stays and it holds the, it makes the shade look still beautiful, not warm because carbon is still there, but it's less dark because the iron oxide is already gone. So that's the reason why Clinita is never like super gray. Of course, if yes, then it's mostly our problem, not the formulation. But in general, if you have a good pigment brand and you understand the formulation and you work with the pigments in the right way, then it's perfect. Then you do not really have wrong effects after some time. It didn't happen to me in the last 2 to 3 years. I always had just a lighter color, and if there was a problem, it was mainly with people where I saturated the brows more, and I shouldn't do it. But sometimes my clients tell me, do it please, and I do it, but I don't like to do it. Okay, let's go. So we will start with the second eyebrow. We can see our eyebrow here. It looks super nice. I'm so happy. Whew, I'm so happy. It looks so beautiful. And we can start with outline. So let's go. Again, very good stretching and short movements back and forth. Okay, let's check it. Yeah, I use anestheticum, feel better now. I think it's okay. Oh, perfect. Looks really nice. Maybe it's too light for you. I don't know if you see it in a good way, but for me it's okay. I can go a little bit more so you see it a bit better. But for me, light outline is enough, because I go through the outline again many times when I work at the bottom part. So I do not really need to have very heavy outline. Okay, again, let's check. Sometimes what is my mistake is that I rush, because over here I don't feel that comfortable. I always feel more comfortable from that side. So when I rush, my outline is sometimes too light. Okay, let's go, let's move. my client's head. Short movements. And I have to say to myself not to rush. But it looks super beautiful. I can already see it here. I am so happy with the result because I am not happy with the result every day. Like sometimes I do what it's needed to do, what is required with the skin and everything, but I'm not like, I don't like my work every day on every client. Sometimes I'm not able to do what I would like to do. And we only are able to do what the skin will allow us to do. Okay. Let's see how it looks, and if I need, I will go over it again. Okay. Let's check. But I think it looks nice. Oh wow, I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm really happy with the effect. So we can start with the first pass, and we will do the same as we did on the other side. But I have to clean my needle because sometimes it's dirty and I don't like it. Okay, so we will start again from here. And I have to, sometimes when the tail goes a bit more down, I just move my fingers and I just move it towards myself, or I move myself. But here I don't want to move that much, so yeah, I move the tail towards myself, so it's easier for me to do it, because I don't want to like work this way or like work this way. I always want to work like this, always in line. Perfect. We will start. Okay. Yeah, now when I work here, I feel like I am comfortable, but maybe I wasn't comfortable here that much because I was starting the live stream and I really wanted to do it super nice. But when you put a lot of pressure on yourself, then sometimes you are just not relaxed enough to do a good work. Okay. Let's use a cotton pad so it's not dirty all over my client's face. Perfect. Again, short movements when we are working closer to the bottom line. And as soon as we go up, more like longer movements, and not longer that much, but more like far away from each other. client's head. And let's continue. I hope you can see it. Oh yeah, I think you can see it. Okay. I am really in love with the machine. I absolutely love how it looks, like what kind of effect it creates. And I am even more comfortable now. Because when I was trying the machine, it was a bit heavier for me and like bigger. The feeling was like I have such a big machine in my head. But more I was trying to get used to it, better it became. And now I am loving it. And I don't feel like it's heavy at all. Like we have to sometimes give things time, and we may fall in love like me. Okay. So, short movements, and more we go up, more our movements should be a little bit far away from each other. So we create this gradient effect. And we are not rushing. We need good first pass. Okay. And when we work on the first pass, we want to go everywhere. Then the second pass, we want to leave the top and front empty, so we do not oversaturate it. Okay. We have to stretch very well. Okay. I am so excited to show you the effect on my Instagram, like really good pictures, because you will like it. If you like my work, because I do quite soft effects. I never do heavy effects. Most of the time I don't do heavy effects. But of course, if I have a client who wants to have the front part a little bit more saturated, I do it. I want my clients to be happy. But in general, I prefer lighter work. Because from my experience and from all my work I did and healed effects I saw, it's always the safest choice to do soft and natural work. And PMU sometimes can be hard. And it took me a long time to feel comfortable with my work. And sometimes I'm not comfortable. Even now, it's normal. But we always have to try. And we always have to learn. I never stopped taking courses in 7 years. I spend so much money on courses. I invest so much money back all the time because I believe this is the way how we can grow, when we educate ourselves all the time. My work 12 months ago was completely different than it's now. So, okay, you don't have to take multiple courses like me every year, but definitely one course a year, I think it is necessary because everything is changing so quickly. There is always so much to learn, even for me. That's why I visit my favorite trainers, And I go to Magda Teleshinska for the third time in May, because I love her. Okay. I hope you can see it. You never draw the pattern on the pre-draw? No, I never draw a pattern on the pre-draw. I just do it how I feel, and sometimes I don't do the exact step-by-step process. Sometimes I just work how I feel, and sometimes I just cannot explain what I do. I just do what I feel like it's the best at that place, at that time, and that's it. Okay. I do not look at you when I'm talking. I will try to look to the camera more. Okay. We are going closer to the front of the brow, but I still saturate a lot because I still want to have quite a lot of color here. Okay. And sometimes I have to like push up so I don't work this way, because this way it's so uncomfortable. But sometimes I don't realize and I work this way and then I feel bad. So yeah, try to make your work as comfortable as possible, because when you work for 2 hours and you have multiple clients a day, it's really, really hard. Okay. Okay. So now I like to work with more with 80 movements and open movements. Okay. So we have a beautiful satin effect. Perfect. We are almost done with the first pass. Dobre všetko?
Áno.
Okay. I even leave it a little empty, but I like to go there and make it beautiful later. I just do not want to oversaturate. So we will clean. Yeah, it looks nice. And now you can actually see how first pass looks versus how 2 passes looks. It's a little bit darker, especially the bottom part. You can see that the bottom part is darker and body is darker than here. But we can beautifully see everything with this first pass. Nice. We go to the second pass, and we are going to work on a tail, body of the brow. We saturate, we do super short movements at the bottom, and then that's it. And we are not trying to touch top and front, because as soon as we do it, it's oversaturated. Okay. So again, we will saturate. We are at the tail, and at the tail I am really light. I just go over it a bit more times, but I am always light because I'm always scared. I never know, you never know. Sometimes I have such a thin skin that I barely like breathe and I already see gray dot and I'm like, well, even like slowly or more slowly. Okay. I recommend you to, like, if you want to have a beautiful work and you want to be comfortable with what you are doing, I recommend you to know your pigments first. Whatever the brand is, just study the ingredients as much as possible, because based on the ingredients, you adjust. You adjust your work, you adjust the machine, you adjust the stroke, you adjust the needle, you adjust your technique, you think about the skin, what you are going to work with, you adjust the final effect, everything. And based on the ingredients, you know so much and you can predict so much how the work of the client is going to look in 1 year or 1.5 years. So if you do not know your pigments, you do not know what is inside, stop and learn that as the first thing. I have a very nice pigmentology chapter in my online course. We recorded that in Slovak and English, and the whole course is in Slovak and English. And then we added already Spanish subtitles and Italian subtitles. No, French? French subtitles. Okay. Nice. Short movements. But I feel like I am too low. Oh yeah, so nice. I have to go closer to the client. And of course, if you are not happy with your work, the most important is to have a good movement. If your movement is good, then you can build your technique up. But if your movements suck, then you have to work a lot on latex, because I found out about how my movement looks like only on latex. My work was okay, but when I was working on my latex, I saw exactly how it looks like and I could analyze it and make it better. And then I knew when I change, for example, movement from close to open, it makes a huge difference. So that's why like every detail at the beginning is very important, and then you can play with all the possibilities you have. And in general, I believe that PMU is only about good fundamentals and very good support. So your trainer, whoever your trainer is a really important part of your PMU life, especially when you are starting or you have struggles. And I also think that there is more good machines, more good needles. It's not only this machine and this needle, but the thing is that you have to know you have to understand the needle, you have to understand the machine, you have to understand the pigments, because sometimes people say that only this is the best. But I think that when we have bad results, it's also because we do not understand what we are doing. So that's really important. Okay. So regarding machine, really important is to have a high quality motor, and in a Clinita CMED machine there is a Maxon motor. We've been in the manufacture and in the production, and it was really interesting for me because I learned a lot about motor. And in this me machine, there is also a good motor. That's the reason why I like these two machines. And because the reason why I like Clinita Pigments, is because I like the owners and I trust them. And what is the most important with every relationship you have, if it's you to client, you to partner, you to your, I don't know, business partner, whatever, it's trust. And for me, trust is #1 value, and that's the reason why I love Clinita owners, because I trust them with everything, and they are super transparent with me and with all the people in the world, and I really value this so much, because transparency is missing in permanent makeup so much, because everyone is trying to sell something. And marketing, partially, I just feel like it's about maybe lying a little bit. I don't know. I see this is going on. So that's the reason why I really like when I know that someone is like transparent and saying the truth, whatever the truth is. I have an app, it's Zanova app, and I have a podcast there in Slovak and in English. And I think I should record a little bit more podcast, because I like to talk about things, but I also like to procrastinate a lot. So it would be a nice thing. Maybe you can write me, but write me on Instagram what kind of things you want me to talk about, so I can record some episodes for you. Okay, I should work a little bit more in the here, bottom and body. Okay. So nice. Yeah, I'm going to come back to the brow and work more at the bottom, but I will change my gloves. Tell us more about your app. So regarding my app, at the moment there are 3 sections. There is a online course section. That's the section where you can learn, where is my whole online course. Then there is another section which is store. It's like shop, you can shop the products. And there is, when you download the app, it's -15% off for all the products, including needles. So if you want to try needles, you can go to the app and you can buy it in the app. And then there is another section, community section. No, community is the education one. Yeah, okay, doesn't matter. And there you can see blogs, you can see videos from YouTube, And there also you can see podcasts. So there is a lot of content and much more content coming. I want to create a community of people there who learn a lot over there, who support each other and who are nice and honest and humble and transparent, like me. So I want to create this kind of community. And on Instagram, like, there is everyone, and it's not like a community. And regarding Facebook groups, I don't know if I'm a fan, because I find Facebook groups very negative all the time. So yeah, that's the reason why I created that with my partner. My partner is a huge part of my business and of my team. And without him, my app would never exist. Okay, we will focus on the bottom part now and on the body of the brow. And you can download my app, Rizzonova app, on App Store or Play Store? Play Store. And also you can use app, the app is free, and the only paid thing is of course like online course. But you can go to the store and you can access the podcasts and blogs and everything for free. Okay. So nice. I am jealous. Let's saturate body and bottom parts a little bit more. So nice. Okay. Machine does not have a big vibration, so it's extremely comfortable in a hand. Okay, I don't know what time is it. Koľko hodín? Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it takes a little longer because I talk a lot. Yeah, I always talk a lot. But I think like 30 minutes and we are done. We will be done by 8, around 8. Now I'm going to focus a little bit more on the work, and I will talk a little less. I think I already said everything. And I want to finish eyebrows. But they have like zero trauma. We have like zero lymph, zero blood, zero everything. So it's perfect. The skin has zero trauma. It's also because of the machine and the needle. The needle is sharp and nice, and the machine has nice motor, and the torque is a really important part of it. It's a really important part in a motor, and it's visible that it's perfect. It does not create trauma. Not every machine is the same. And Clinita also have a really, really high quality motor in the machine, and that's the reason why it's so comfortable to work with it. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna stand up and work a little bit like this way. Oh, okay. So let's clean. Okay. Let's clean eyebrows. Let's see how it looks. And what we can do now, what we should do right now is to use anesthetic and rosa on this eyebrow too. So both are at the same level. And then I will remeasure for the third pass. So now we will add. We will do anesthetic. Then we will do rosa. Okay. We will put foil here. And we will clean this one. Yeah, and you can see the eyebrow. It is super nice. This way. Hore hlavičku trošku. Super. Môžeme takto ukázať. Nice. Okay. I think I will take off my gloves and I will do some pictures for the eyebrow and I will show you then later on and you will see the second pass better. Okay. Okay. Maybe a video too. Okay, I use iPhone 15 Pro Max and I have 4K 60 FPS and I like to always clean the camera, of course, and then I like to have my phone in this kind of angle. I hope you can see it, because when you have this angle your client's face looks so big, but as soon as you put it more, I don't know, I think you can see it. Yeah, you can see the angle very well. So yeah, it's important to have a good angle. And you can also nicely see the work in the camera. I'm happy. Okay. I don't like that angle. I have to go to the other side. And I will try to take a little more pictures from here, or videos. Okay. It always takes me very long to do pictures and videos because then I always like one. We all know this struggle a lot, I think. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, and now I will clean my hands with the soap because you cannot see disinfection here. Perfect. And we can start. Now what we can do is to clean the other brow. Then we will remeasure a little bit with the mapping string. And then we can finish this part and then this part and we are done. We are now at 2 passes and 2 passes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, eyebrows look really nice. But even though you would have the same machine, same needle and same pigment, what I want to say is that you really need also beautiful skin to create beautiful effect. That's the most important. The skin is super nice, super important. And also, if you do not have a good movement when you work, then your work will never be the same or similar. You can create beautiful work even with different products, but of course, products are super important, but the most important is the product plus right technique. Perfect. Now we will take a mapping string. We will remeasure. Okay. We can see that this part here is a little bit more empty because there is the pimple, don't forget, so we cannot work there. Maybe a little bit less. It's too much. So, yeah. And now, like this, and we also have pimple over here. I love this mapping string. It's important to have a thin mapping string so you can create super nice and thin effect as a pre-draw. And I think we can start now. This part is a little bit more empty from this part, yeah. And it's a bit more white than this. Okay. I think I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to move to the other side right now. Weźmiesz prosím tady to? Chceš mi něco říct? Okay. Môžete sa zase posunúť ku mne. Dobre, vlásky si dajte na druhú stranu, áno. Ešte stolík. OK. I have to change and take also my trolley. This is very annoying when you change sides, but I cannot work on one side. I still didn't learn that. It's not comfortable for me. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I think we are ready. Hlavičko hore, super. Okay, we can start with the last pass. I want to work a little bit more at the bottom part so I can make it even more precise in the body at the moment. If you have any questions, you can ask me and I will reply to all of your questions at the end of the live stream, okay? So feel free to ask even now, write it now, and I will come back to you. Okay. I can still see light parts. But I think overall brows are like 80% done. Okay. Very good stretching and angle. Don't forget about that. Together with the pressure, with consistency. Okay. Oh, so nice. I wish to work on such a skin every day. This is a really precious moment for me. So, I do not work on such a skin every day. To be clear, I also have normal skin types, oily skin types, and so on. And also we can do in the future lip live stream. So many people from YouTube knows me from lips more than brows, which is surprising to me because I do little more brows than lips. But because I have a lot of tutorials for lips too, we can also do lips in the future. Oh, we can also do latex live stream. Let me know, would you like to have latex live stream? Would that be interesting for you to see? We can practice movements, outline, and then we can do step by step brow on latex. Okay. Stále dobré?
Áno.
Vy ste zlatá. Vy ste tak vyčilovaná úplne. Je vám zima?
No, úplne v pohode.
Že v tom oblečku?
Áno.
Okay. Okay. Now we will work in the front, and we have to push it a bit more to the front. Okay. It looks nice, but it needs a little more work. You can see how it looks like right now. You can see already the difference. This one is much darker than this one, which is important for us to see. A little bit more here. So now we are focusing again on the body and bottom, and then I will do a top a little bit. So we go a little bit more on top, because now our gradient ends exactly where the brow hair ends, so it's not that visible. We have to put it a bit more up. But this is what we do at the end. So I do it at the end. Okay. We will clean. Yeah, I am satisfied much more at the moment. And now we will do top a little bit. So we will go over with super soft pressure. Very, very soft pressure. Maybe I will stand up and do it from this. Okay. Here. And we go up even here. Perfect. This way, maybe like this. But here we can see pimples, so we cannot go there. Okay, a little more. Okay. Few pixels here, few pixels there, and we are almost done with this brow. We will leave it like that and we go to the other side. We cannot forget that it takes a little bit of time for us to see the gradient. Okay. A little bit more and done. Maybe I will say two more times. You know how it is, we are never done with brows. But I think I like it quite a lot now. I want to do anesthetic and rosa again. Okay, maybe here a little bit more. Okay, again bottom part. So this is the last part, and a lot of people don't pay enough attention to this specific part. They rush and then all the details are missing, but these details make the brow and take it from 50 to 100. That's what I found out with my work. And I am really obsessed with the bottom part, so I always come back to it and make it even more precise and even more crisp. Okay. But if you are already using Clinita, you have to try these needles. You will not believe the effect it has on Clinita needles, Clinita pigments. This hard needle, it helps tremendously with Clinita pigments. It really does. And it still creates such a beautiful effect, even though it's hard needle, it's super beautiful. The pixel, the dot. Yeah, so we are almost done. I love it. Okay. Now I am slowly moving to the other side. And we will see how the brow will look in a few minutes. But you can already see the effect is super nice, and even the third pass versus two passes, it's also very visible. Okay. Anesthetic. Always with rosa. I almost always use it with rosa. I almost never use anesthetic on its own. It makes the skin look so shrink, it shrinks the skin and it's dehydrated. This is the best combo ever. Okay, now we will put foil on top, and I'm gonna go to the other side. Okay, we can start with the other eyebrow. I'm going to take, again, new gloves. I change my gloves quite often. And now we will finish this eyebrow. Okay, I will clean my needle again. And we can start. So we will make the bottom part and body of the brow a bit more saturated, so it gives it this wow effect. I always want to finish quickly with the details, and it always takes me so long because there is never enough with playing with the details. Okay. Do not touch the top and front when you focus on the bottom part and when you focus on the body of the brow. Because when you focus everywhere at the same time, then your focus is nowhere, and then you do not do the exact part you want to do in a good way. That's what I found out when I was thinking about how I work. So right now I only want to focus on the bottom part and body, and then I will work on the top part and front part. So we want to saturate this because we see when I stretch, it's visible that some places are not saturated enough. And I am always my biggest critic when it comes down to work. So stretching, we push it a bit more up. Okay. Perfect. So I think I will clean it right now and check it again. Okay. Yeah, but we still have to, saturate it a little more. Okay. So regarding my online course, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I would like to tell you what is in the course at the moment. So the course is active and alive, so it means that I always add a new content there. Today I was actually working before the online stream. I was working on another model. We will put it to the course very soon, and I really like to explain everything in detail, and we do it in 2 languages, so sometimes it takes time, but in general it's divided into chapters, and there is at the moment 10 chapters and 2 support calls. So the online course has 2 private calls with me. One is in the middle of the course, one is at the end of the course, but in general it's up to you how you want to use it. And then there is 10 chapters. There is like skin, pigments, color theory, different models with different problematic. There is hygiene, safety, machine needles and tools, latex, where you can see some of the exercises and you can submit it and I check it and evaluate your work. And also models, but we always like add new models to the course. If you are interested in the course, just write me privately on Instagram, please. Okay, a little bit more. So I think it's almost done, the bottom part. Now I will work a little bit more on the top part. Okay. And if I have some girls here from the online course, I would like to say thank you to them, because we have already girls from different countries in Europe and in the world. And it's so nice to see people like trusting me. That's very nice, and I'm really grateful for that. And that's the reason why I will do everything I can to help you. And there is like everything you need from the pigmentology point of view and from powder brow point of view. And I will also prepare a chapter about championship and how to get ready for championship, because so many people are attending championship at the same time. And because I attended championship before and I am attending this year too, I am learning exactly what is important from this point of view, regarding model, regarding preparation, regarding the work. And I am also judged in a lot of championships, and I was judged in a lot of championships. So I also know what to pay attention to. So I think this chapter will be also very beneficial for a lot of people. Okay, maybe 1 more minute for bottom part, and we go to the top part definitely. So we will put a little more color here. I will take this off to see better the other part, the other eyebrow. Yeah, perfect. So a little bit more here. I want her to have a light, soft effect, because we see she does not have a lot of brow hair, so we have to be very careful what kind of pigment we use and how much we saturate and what we do. So now I will clean, and then I will work on the top part and the front part, and I will create a little bit more gradient. Uwolnicie? Super. Okay. Looks so nice. Let me go up now. So, same as on the other side. Maybe 1 millimeter up. And we chaotically do the movements. Uwolnicie? Tak, super. Okay. She has really skin like a butter. And it looks perfect because of her skin too. Okay. So, we are almost done with the eyebrows. I just want to add a little bit more gradient here. And I think I will be ready. I will add anesthetic and rosa again on top. We will wait a little bit. I will reply to the questions, and then I will take pictures and videos. Okay. Uvolníte? OK. Maybe I will see this girl again in my studio because of the front, because of the pimple. Maybe we will do a quick correction again. Maybe not, we'll see how it heals. Okay, so I can reply to some of your messages. Celú dobu prekrývam 70/30, áno, určite. S klinitou, s jemnými spojivami 100% áno. Pretože keby som prekrývala menej, tak potom by to nevyzeralo dobre, ale že by sa málo pigmentu ostalo v koži. Ale nerobím to 70/30, pokiaľ samozrejme som vpredu, pretože to by bolo veľmi presýtené. There is a question if I work 70/30 all the time. And I'm saying that yes, I work 70/30 overlap all the time because I work with soft binder pigments. If I would apply less pigment or I would do 50/50, it wouldn't be enough. And when we work with soft binder pigments, when we work with light pigments, we have to saturate enough. Thank you so much. Anestetikum na rozách funguje jak požadavek. So, anestetikum funguje tak, že ono epinefrin zúži cievky a to znamená, že sa zbieli koža, pretože tam nie je krvička, neprúdi a roza krásne hydratuje kožu a stiahne začervenanie taktiež, ale anestetikum stiahuje začervenanie viacej ako roza. So, there is a question about anesthetic and rosa, how it works. So I'm just saying that anesthetic, especially anesthetic with epinephrine, it shrinks the blood vessels and then there is no blood flow, and that's the reason why the skin is white. And then on top of it, I use rosa, and rosa hydrates the skin, makes it beautiful, makes it less red. But when we compare rosa to anesthetic, of course, anesthetic makes the skin white much more than rosa. Rosa does not have any epinephrine. It's natural cream, but it's really useful, and I cannot actually, I don't know what I would do if I wouldn't use rosa. I use it daily, I use it all the time for every skin type, for every client. I am obsessed with rosa, and I think it's a very big help. And it makes the brows look more beautiful because it helps the skin to look better and it calms down the skin. So that's the reason why it's important. Vo všeobecnosti mi trvá obočko urobiť cca 2 až 3 hodiny. Záleží od toho, aké veľké, záleží od toho, aký pigment používam. There is a question how long it takes me to do eyebrows. So I'm saying that in general it's around 2 to 3 hours, but at the same time it also depends on what kind of brows I have, what kind of skin I'm working with, what kind of pigment I'm working with, but in general it's important also, I wanted to say something. Everything is important, and the most important is if I have a big asymmetry or no, but I have always 3 hours for a client. So if someone books for eyebrows, there is 3 hours in a system reserved for one person. At the top you work, so in general I use straight movements and I use all types of movements, but sometimes I cannot think about the word in English. Diagonal ones, I wanted to say. So I use straight and also diagonal, and I mix them together. So you can use both of them, but make sure when you use diagonal ones, you do not saturate it a lot with the diagonal movement, because then it will be visible that it's a bit more straight. Of course, it's also about your pressure and so on. So it may not happen, but it can happen. OK, tak môžeme skúsiť vymyslieť potom do budúcna aj nejaký live stream na latex. we can also think about some kind of live stream latex for you. Xion S, yes, Xion S is quite soft, quite light, quite quiet, and I think we can compare this machine to Xion from the vibration point of view. It's light, there is like almost zero vibration. And I think I replied to a lot of questions. And now I think we can check eyebrows. We can check eyebrows. And we will do pictures. And we can share a screen with you, so you will see how I do pictures. I'm not gonna use mask anymore, I think. I don't need it. So let's go. Okay. Yeah, it is amazing. The only thing is this pimple here, and we cannot continue over here that much. But other than that, it's beautiful, and I really like the result. I'm so happy about it. And I think I can take, I will take another phone, and I will show you how I do pictures, okay? I really like it. I really like how crisp is the outline. Can you see? Yeah. Now maybe I will do 1-2 pictures from here, and then I will go to the other side. Okay. And now I will move to the other side. And we will do some pictures and videos from here too. So, yeah. Můžete dát hlavičku trošku dohora? Super. OK. Môžete to pekne vidieť. Toto neukazujem toľko, lebo to nemáme dokončené ten predok, a tu máme dokončený predok, tak chcem, aby ste to videli poriadne. Here you can see the eyebrow a little bit more, because here, because of the pimple here and pimple there, it's not finished, but this one is like perfect. Okay. So when I take pictures and videos, I try a lot of different angles, and then I choose the best ones. Môžete pozrieť na mňa? Can you look at me? Okay. So nice. Perfect. I think that here the eyebrow is a little bit more red, and we have quite a strong frames from the anesthetic. When the anesthetic will go away a little bit, it will be even better, because we will not have these borders here. Yeah, perfect. Môžete sa vedieť očka. And now we will do macro, okay? So we can do this too. And you can see everything perfectly. You can see these pixels, these dots. And now we can also do some pictures. And here you can see how precise it is, the bottom part, when we do it onto. Yeah, I love this kind of effects. Perfect. Yeah. Amazing. So I think we are done. Okay. Môžem to vypnúť, hej? Okay, we are done, and this is how the final effect looks like. And thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much for coming here and being here with us for more than 2 hours. I enjoyed it a lot. Now I'm gonna check. Macro lens, it's from the Champion brand, from Karina Irklienko. Light is from Poland, it's the One Ring. And to show us everything and explain it so well. I'm so happy you liked it. Do you sometimes use rosa without anesthetic? Yes, sometimes I use rosa also without anesthetic. And when do you know when to stop doing in top? I think I already know, because I work on my clients for 7 years and I can predict it because I know the pigments. So with Clinita I went up more. If I would do the same with the Etalon or any other stronger pigment, it would be already too much. But you can maybe learn like exact technique. So at the end, based on the pigment you are using, if you have pigment with soft binder, tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do it 3-4 times, like chaotically, then I will clean and I will wait with anesthetic and rosa and I will see. Because you need to give time to the pigment. If you do it, check, it's nothing, and again, then it's already too much. Even this one, this will be a little bit darker maybe in 30 minutes. So I rather have it a bit more empty than too much. But in general, I think important is to have the right technique, to know how to do it step by step. I have everything in the course, step by step. I have exactly this what I was talking about at the moment. Everything is also in the course, in a little bit more detailed way, of course. And I think if you pay enough attention to what you do and practice a lot, and if you take a good course, whatever, you can choose the course you want. It doesn't have to be mine. I'm just saying that my course also has this kind of things, but you have to choose a trainer and a good course and someone who you like, someone's work who you like, then you should be able to learn it from the person. So it's very important to have a good mentor, good person who will show you, tell you, and who will also explain your mistakes. So this is really, really important. Thank you so much. And I will see you all in the next live stream. I'm happy you came. Thank you. Bye-bye.